LG V20. The LG V20 is now available in the US for $799 unlocked, and will release on November 8 in Australia for $1,099 Australian dollars. Sadly, the UK is being left high and dry for this anticipated release, at least, until LG informs us otherwise. We've spent the better part of a month with the LG V20 preview unit. And now, we finally have a final review unit. If you've read over this article previously, you'll want to direct your attention to the newly added benchmark scores on page 2 and the deep dives into the camera's performance on page 3. Updated review follows below. The LG V20's greatest claim to fame is that it probably has whichever feature it is you're looking for, and some that you didn't know you wanted until now. Like its predecessor, the LG V10, it's a total Frankenstein of a smartphone. Around the body of the V20, you'll find 2 screens, 3 cameras and an abundance of other awesome hardware and software features that you likely won't find elsewhere. Additionally, it offers the drop-friendly qualities of its predecessor that we all loved, but replaces the rugged design that we didn't love so much with a more refined look. Its signature second screen is back, too, with more options for customization than before. For those looking for a capable Android smartphone, the V20 answers the call and sits comfortably in the league of some other powerful options out there, like the short-lived Samsung Galaxy Note 7 and even the iPhone 7 Plus. However, the new Google Pixel outruns the V20 with its Snapdragon 821 chipset. But outright comparing LG's latest to more traditional smartphones is a bit unfair. After all, the V20 offers things that these phones, and many others, do not. Where else can you get a nougat phone with a removable battery, 4 DACs, multiple wide-angle camera lenses and 2 displays, and a 3.5mm port? 2016 has been a strange year in smartphones, wherein flying with one of the most hyped flagships has been outlawed. We've also seen options like the iPhone 7 and Moto Z lopping off the 3.5mm, a divisive move against the legacy feature that has turned away many. So, it's only fitting that the LG V20, the year's strangest phone in terms of its looks, is also one of the most inventive and feature-rich releases, even if it doesn't quite stick the landing on some of its marquee features. The LG V20 is now available unlocked and can also be purchased through several carriers in the US, including Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, AT&T and US Cellular. It costs anywhere from $28 to $33 a month on contract in the US, but can also be bought unlocked at full price for $799. That makes it one of the most expensive Android phones of 2016. Purchasing the phone from a carrier might lock you in for a few years, but keep in mind that this is a global phone, supports both GSM and CDMA out of the box, and thus, barring any contract restrictions, you'll be able to use it on most carriers around the world with no issue, even if the phone hasn't been released in your region. As previously mentioned, the V20 retails unlocked for $799, not available in UK, $1,099 Australian dollars, but in many cases, buying it through a carrier is the cheaper option. For example, Verizon will put a $300 trade-in credit toward the cost of a V20, which will also include the Bang & Olufsen H3 headphones until November 20th. The carrier is also throwing in the MediaTek-powered LG Stylo 2V for $1 per month with purchase of the V20. AT&T is hosting a similar deal, but offers $200 trade-in toward the V20, along with a free set of B&O H3 headphones until November 20th. Sprint and T-Mobile are running launch promotions that are identical to that of AT&T's, with the exception of US Cellular, which is offering $100 for your trade-in toward the V20 alongside the limited-time headphones offer. While the carrier promotions do a lot to allay sticker shock for those who want the phone, LG is going higher than the recently released Google Pixel, which came under fire for its $649 price. For an extra $100, you can even nab Google's Nexus Killer upgraded to 128GB for $749, still less than the V20 unlocked. Price aside, the two phones are more different than they are similar, so there's little reason to compare them too much. Still, Google just made it that much more difficult for LG to compete than a high price point. From a distance, the LG V20 doesn't look all too different from the vast selection of flagship quality Android smartphones out there. But, as you know, it's the details that work to set a product apart from the rest. And this phone has a lot of them. First off, the phone's measurements come in at 159.7 by 78.1 by 7.6 millimeters, and it weighs about 174 grams, which makes it a slimmer, lighter phone than the V10. Compared to the Google Pixel XL, which ranges in thickness from 7.3 mm at its bottom to 8.5 mm at the top, the V20 sits near the middle of that range, but weighs roughly 8 grams more. And just because LG got rid of the V10's textured back doesn't mean it's any less resilient to drops. The V20 boasts a military-grade build and is made up of a removable aluminum back panel that yields a smooth look and feel. That's right, swappable batteries, Samsung. The top and bottom areas of the phone are made of silicon polycarbonate, a tough material that LG is confident can take more than a few blows. Now that we have a final retail unit in office, we've tried it ourselves and are pleased with the result. From a waist-high drop, the V20 landed face first onto cement and surprisingly, it came away without a single blemish. Like the Sony Xperia XZ, LG has once again combined the fingerprint sensor and power button into one. Just hold a finger up to the sensor to activate it. It might take a little getting used to, but the sensor button combo is responsive, tactile to press and works just like Apple's Touch ID-enabled home button, except it's on the back of the phone. You won't find much on the phone's top, other than the IR blaster, and a microphone that assists in capturing 24 bitrate audio at 48 kHz, a mighty impressive feature for a smartphone and a testament to its knack for audiophilia. On its bottom, you'll find this year's hottest talking point, the 3.5mm headphone jack, featured alongside a USB-C charge port, microphone and bottom firing speaker. Lastly, its volume buttons sit slightly recessed into its left side and are distinguishable enough to feel without having to hunt for them.